All right.
Sick. Cool.
Done. Easy. Immediate.
Never gonna win.
Okay.
All right. I'll be honest. You're gonna be a beautiful bride.
I am.
Yeah, you are. But you know,
Like 6 months.
I know. You know what we gotta do though first?
Fun.
We never introduce ourselves.
We literally did not introduce ourselves at all for the first couple of episodes.
That's okay.
But
That's fine.
now we're doing it.
Let's do it. I guess I'll start.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
I know you. They don't know me.
This is Erin.
This is me. Wedding elopement family photographer, Knoxville Smoky Mountains.
Yep.
Would be my big thing.
Okay.
Doing it over a decade.
Wow.
I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
Insane.
Let me see. Fun things, maybe. Enneagram 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why we get along so well.
Mm-hmm.
We are
Buddies in that way.
We are the same person.
We are the
in
same
different-
person.
Yep, different
Literally the
bodies.
same human.
Yeah, love it. Love being a photographer.
You do a lot of elopements, but also big weddings. But you do like Smoky Mountain is when I think of like the Smoky Mountains, I think of Erin.
I did hitch on to that.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. I think it's easy. It was one thing that I really could get a claw into real quick, and it's just beautiful. And I think the first time I went out there, it feels easy.
It's so pretty.
And so you get like the big weddings, you know, the tons of the big receptions and stuff like that, but then you get the elopement. So I really like going out there.
Love it.
So what about you? You don't go out there too much, but you go.
No.
You travel.
I travel
you travel
a lot.
more.
I
So
travel a lot.
What about you?
I'm Brittany. I am also a portrait and wedding photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I do travel. I like to travel a lot. I love the West Coast. It's like my favorite place to shoot. I'm an Enneagram 6. I've learned.
you?
I shifted from a 3 to a 6. Did you know you could do that? Apparently you can.
I think so. I know it's like a whole triangle thing, but I'm not
I'm a
in
3,
that.
6, 9.
Damn, you're fine.
So I like gravitated now toward a 6. So when I'm stressed, I think I'm a 3 when I'm stressed or a 9 when I'm healthy. I don't know, whatever. So, but at a baseline, I'm a 6. But we do relate a lot.
We do. I think that's
in
why.
that way.
Yeah, we communicate very well, or
Yeah.
communicate the same way. Very direct, very honest with each
Yes.
other.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'll be
That's
honest.
literally, we're like, honesty is that's what we
It
have
is.
to name it because we're just honest. I'm also engaged.
And that's why we're here. Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop for you. I'm done. I've done my wedding time, okay?
Right. It's been really fun, but we've been engaged for a year on Thursday. This week will be a year that we've been engaged.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. My fiance's in that audience.
Like how that does not feel like it's like literally it doesn't. I just think
year
when
is
I did your
wild.
engagement, it felt like it was a lot warmer than it is right now. Maybe that's why
Yeah.
I'm going off.
But
that.
I took off my jacket. I like had a sleeveless dress.
That's right. You're cute little. I never see you in high heels, and you're high
I
heels.
didn't successfully do high heels. I literally could not walk in the heels that I was in. You
right,
had to
'cause
carry me on
you
his
did.
back and
Yeah.
walk
At one point, I was like,
spots.
how do we get back to the car without literally breaking Brittany's feet?
I got rid of those heels. I wore them one time when I got engaged.
And that was it.
That was it. They were just I think they were too big, like slightly too big. My foot kept coming out a bit.
That's true. Oh God, yeah. And
It was just enough.
Horrible high heels is the worst feeling.
Horrible. I'm like, why did I even wear
There's
heels? I
nothing.
never wear heels.
There's worse things, but there's
are worse
nothing worse about wearing shoes that literally they're too tight and you feel like they're shoved in there or they're just slipping off your feet.
I mean, like literally I'd be walking and my heels were just like coming out of them. And I'm like, I can't physically walk. I'm either going to be barefoot or like just like scooting along the sidewalk.
Yeah. Well, we talked about proposal, but give me a little, give our people a little background. How did you and Q, who's behind the scenes over here, how'd you all meet?
We met at a wedding. Technically we actually met years ago, like in 2017. He took 2015.
Oh,
he
sorry,
he
he's
knows,
already
he
dating
knows.
you.
He was going to be like inputting probably. So we met in 2015 and he came in as a student when I was working in the print and graphics department at the university that we both went to.
Oh.
And I took his student ID photo. I was like the first person that first girl he met and interacted with on campus. So no big deal. And then
This was when?
This was 2015.
Okay.
And then
A decade ago.
I know. And then I quit that job, went into photography full time. He took over my job there like 3 months afterward. And we never crossed paths again until like 2020. And then we worked a wedding together because he's a videographer. So it was just like, oh, you are so-and-so. And we like are connecting all these dots. And then we just were friends for so long. And then
What was the first date?
we didn't actually have a first date. That's like the lure of our relationship.
All of a sudden you're like,
we
we're dating.
Literally, we went to dinner. We had a cute bet. We had both gotten wedding tips. And so we like bet, or maybe it was the same wedding that we worked, but we both had envelopes of money and we were like, what is your tip? What's your tip? And so we like placed bets and whoever lost had to buy the other person beer and buy dinner. And so we went and got drinks and then I kind of wondered because he just like acted a little, like it was just like a little different. And I was like, we had been hanging out as friends for a while. And so we had drinks and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like really going to need to drink. I'm like nervous. I like, don't know why I'm so nervous. And then we went to a really nice dinner and then.
Same day or different day?
Same day.
Okay.
And then we were going to watch what was it? Some schmuck. Dinner with the schmucks.
With the schmucks?
With the dinner for schmucks.
And are you the schmucks or somebody else the schmucks?
They're the schmucks. Have you seen this with Steve
No,
Carell?
I have no
It's so
idea.
funny. So we're watching. It's one of my favorite movies. And he like puts his arm around me on the couch. And I was like,
Oh, this is it.
oh, we're not friends? Like I'm confused. I thought it was a mistake. I got up to go to the bathroom because I was like, maybe he didn't mean to do that. So like, got up to sit back down to see if he would do it again, and he did. And I was like, interesting. Didn't watch the rest of the movie. I was like, just like looking at the TV, and I'm curious. I'm like, what? How are we going to end this? Are we going to talk about it? Like, what is happening?
And that was, when was this?
So that was 2022.
Oh,
We had
okay.
been
So
friends
you
for
had been
2
friends.
years.
Okay. And then 2022.
And then literally we went from that night to like, I really like you. I really like you. I think we're dating. And then we like, we're dating the next day.
Yeah.
So it was just.
And it just moved on from there. Yeah. So when did you know a proposal was coming?
Yes.
Like, had you talked about it?
Yes. Okay. I knew that it was coming. I didn't know when exactly it was going to be. I forget what the time, like I had tinsel in my hair. I'll never forget tinsel in my hair. And he was like, do you want this tinsel when we get engaged? And I was like, no, but I was going to California to see some friends and I wanted it then. And he's like, well, you may want to take it out before you leave for California then. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. Literally the next day. That said.
So anyway, yeah, but the rest is history. Okay. And then you.
Yeah. So I came in, of course, on the back end of it, and he proposed at.
Yeah. Okay. He proposed at the wedding venue that we met at.
Yeah.
Or like not met, but actually like acknowledged each other's existence
in the world outside of the university.
And yeah, and then he proposed in the bridal suite upstairs at that venue.
Yeah. So he messaged me and he's like, what are your dates? I'm like, I will drop whatever you need me to do. Yeah. I will drop it and be there. And so, and I think which was great about Q, he's like, I don't think she's going to want you in there. Yeah. So just be prepared for when we come out. And
that was like the best thing ever.
So
truly.
Nervous.
Why? Why are you
nervous? I was like, is she gonna, you could see kind of through the doors at the venue and meeting there. And then I didn't want to like attack, but I still have a video. I was videoing and we
screamed. I looked like a dog, like having a seizure. I was like, oh my God.
Well, I wonder if somebody literally videoed us. It was probably both of us. Like, probably. I felt like I was like riding a horse.
We just like jumping in circles.
Yes, it was good. And then we went downtown, but he had lured you there.
Yes,
under the pretext of some dinner.
He does like a Top Chef dinner, and so it was like our fancy. He killed it because like I really didn't suspect it. I thought we were meeting our friends. We had been texting the whole day, like, oh my gosh, what time are you guys getting there? Oh, we're on our way. Like, I mean, I knew exactly. Like, I was like, oh yeah. Maybe he's not proposing. Maybe he said that about the tinsel to throw me off. Like I really was thinking all the alternatives. And then we pulled up in front of the venue and the dinner was supposed to be right down the road. And so we had talked about getting married there. And so we parked and he's like, let's just like go in and look. Like, and I thought that was so weird because I was like,
we're just going to break into this venue.
I was like, we may get married here. Like, let's like check it out. And then we go in and the venue coordinator was there and he was like, is it okay if we just look around? She's like, sure, yeah. And so like, it was so smooth.
I love a good proposal plan, man.
And so we just like walk upstairs and he had my friend Mackenzie did all the florals and he had like candles and I honestly don't even remember from there, like what he's So
But yeah, I couldn't tell
I
you
wish
what my
that
husband
part
said.
was recorded. Oh, it's the room that we actually met in.
It is. Yeah. He's like, he just wanted to make sure. Ding, ding, ding.
He was like, wait.
Not that.
So yes, it was the room that we met in.
So
And then yeah, we came out and you took our
I took your
photos.
photos. Yeah. And then you actually
was-
went to dinner.
Yeah, we
after
went
that.
to delicious Italian food.
And I was waiting. I was like, when can I post these photos? Like,
ASAP.
anytime. And you can post them.
Literally-
As soon as you did, like, literally within an hour, I'm like,
Brittany, you were engaged.
we're engaged. And I'm going to, that's what.
Yeah, because then I went to California literally the next day to be with my friends, and I didn't post. Actually, there was so much anticipation. I wanted to post so badly, but I didn't post for almost a week, and it was awesome. Like,
Why do you think you
I didn't
that?
because I didn't want my son to see or like to hear about it from someone because I wanted to tell him in person.
Oh, sure.
So there was that, and then like I felt like we weren't able to like put it out in the world together because I wasn't
because
here.
you weren't physically
I wasn't
there. You
physically
were
here.
literally across the country.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, we'll just wait. And then we literally posted it like together. And so that was really fun. But it was just nice to like kind of only our close people knew. Like,
Yeah.
you know, our families knew, but really from that point, it was kind of just like our protected thing from the world for like a week.
Did you feel you needed to protect it?
No.
Were you nervous about once it's out there that there's something that's about to happen?
No, not necessarily. I don't think
Okay.
so. I think I was just like, I think this has been a really cool process of like doing it in my own timeline. Like it took me a while to like get started planning. Like I just have wanted to savor each part of it a little
Yeah.
bit. Like I really wanted to savor the excitement before it was like, oh, we like post everything as soon as it happens and then it all dies down. Like we were excited in person and then like had a little week to celebrate within our own bubble and then another burst of excitement and then celebrate with the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you have a moment though where you're like, okay, like because you are obviously we're vendors, right? We are photographers. We've seen, I mean, how many weddings do you think you've been to or shot?
I mean, hundreds at this point, like literal hundreds.
Were you before then? I mean, I guess maybe I do it as well. Like when we go to weddings, like, oh, that was really cute, or maybe I wish this or that or the other, you know, that sort of thing. But then was there a time where you got through, you're like, it is now time to start actually planning a wedding, like a date and a venue? Was there ever like a real thing like, oh my gosh, we actually do have to
I think when
solidify
people started
something?
asking, people were like, so when are like, have you guys set a date? Like after like the third month of people doing that, I was like, okay, we probably should like set a date and figure it out. And being vendors, like we know how quickly things get booked. So like wanted to secure our photographer. Wanted to secure
You just make whatever date you want. Like, I'm going to make it okay.
So like there really is kind of an element of like you want to make sure that your venue is available. You want to make sure that everything that you really, really want and that's important is available. So like from that standpoint, I was like, but really we did photo, video, venue, date, and then took a break from like planning.
Those are
for
the
a
big
second.
things though.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like, you know, for example, when people inquire with me, they're like, well, we're getting married. My very first question is, what is the date?
Yes.
Like, do I have that open or not?
Yep.
And then you get the venue. And then
Yep.
you know, like travel wise or where people need to go or be at. And then after that, it's really
It's
like,
just like all the fine tuning things. Like you really got to get the big things down because that's what affects your guest count. Like if you have a venue that only holds 200 people versus 100 people, that makes a huge difference in your guests and like you can absolutely do a guest list beforehand, but it kind of determines a lot of things.
did you two talk? I mean, how much talking behind the scenes that you all did before you started looking? Like, obviously, if you're planning a beach wedding, is different from like a local mountain wedding, different from a big venue in Knoxville or an elopement at the courthouse.
Yeah.
So did you all?
Oh yeah.
Or did you have a gamut? You're like, we're just gonna maybe meander and see where we lay, or did you have sort of an idea in head and we're like beelining towards it?
That's a good question. I feel like it came in waves. At first, it was like sentimental, like we wanted to get married at the venue that we met at. Like it was just sentimentally driven. And then we started looking at it and we were like, oh, this actually is going to be way too formal for what we actually want. So then that led into a whole conversation of like, what is the vibe that we want? Like, do we want it to be is super like we get there at 10 a.m. and get hair and makeup, and then we do a first look and it's rigid timeline? Or do we want a little bit more of a lax situation? Do we want to elope and then have a big reception party? Like it opened up the discussion of like, actually, if we want a more relaxed vibe, then what does that look like venue wise?
So venue was a big, venue was a big thing.
Venue was huge because I feel like it set the tone for us for like what we were doing. And like, until we found our venue, that was the predetermining factor, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is, I think, a foundation of.
It's the foundation. I mean, it's the whole vibe of your wedding. Yeah. I feel like.
I don't know. No, I agree with that.
You know, it sets the tone for what dress you pick. It sets the tone for like the decor, for all of it. And also your personal style. Like we wanted our personalities and our style to like come through our venue. Our venue, you know?
And so you went with
Glamping Retro, which I will absolutely plug them because they're amazing. They are incredible. But it's a little campground in Irwin, Tennessee, and they have glamp tents and Airstreams, and you get the whole property for 2 days. We added an extra day, but we'll be there from Thursday to Sunday and just like camping and then get married on Saturday. And I'm like, that's exactly what we want. We want to wake up slowly and hang out with our friends and not feel like the biggest thing too is we have so many people that are coming from out of town that we're like, we don't get to ever see these people. I don't want to throw them all in Knoxville or wherever we go and be like, we'll see you from the hours of 4 to 8 and have a great time. And like, we want to spend time with people that we're like actually never really getting to see that often.
So then planning that. So when you started reaching out, let's get into the tea of how vendors
do not respond. We could get into all of it.
We could. But what so I mean, obviously you said you had a great experience with them. So you contacted them.
Yes.
Did you go do like a venue tour and all that sort of stuff? And then as soon as you walked on,
as soon as we walked, I was like, oh my gosh.
Me, like, found it.
Yeah. Immediately I was like, this is it. Yeah. Like I've not had a lot of moments where I'm like, oh, this is it. But that was a moment where I'm like, this is exactly what we were looking for. We had been searching for months for something similar to that and like couldn't find it. Whoever does their like website advertising SEO stuff, great job, because it was like bing, immediately I found it. Like they did something.
They did something because you had been looking, and then
it was all like West Coast or like a lot of like California, Washington, you know.
Because when I think Airstream, I immediately do go out. I don't know why, but I go like Washington State.
Same. It's like very cool and trendy and like, I don't know, outdoorsy, but they killed it.
I'm a little surprised that sort of vibe, even though it's the mountains, and I always say the Smokies, like our area, East Tennessee is sort of like the intimate national park, that it doesn't have that sort of Airstream, maybe boho vintage vibe feel compared to other areas.
It's a little bit more
like Joshua Tree.
Like Joshua Tree, yes. It's like colorful, fun, peppy, woodsy.
Yeah.
Versus like, this is very like cabin, historical, mountain. Bears, Dolly Parton.
We
love Dolly.
I mean, who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Okay, we're going to take a quick break to talk about our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Chop Chop Beauty Club.
My name is Samantha, and I'm the owner and creative director of Chop Chop Beauty Club. We are a luxury on-site hair and makeup team, and we make sure that not only is your wedding day service exactly what you're looking for, but we work really hard on the back end to make sure that the whole booking and scheduling process is seamless. I like to say that we are a set it and forget it type of company. You have so many things that you are dealing with when you're planning a wedding. You're booking photographers, you're booking catering, things like that. We don't want to be one more thing on your to-do list. So we have all of our communication perfectly timed out, so you never have to reach out to us. We will always reach out to you for whatever milestone is around the corner. Our genderless and all-inclusive service menu ensures that you will get exactly the service that is for you. Whether that is a more skincare forward makeup service, if you don't really like to wear a lot of makeup, or if you need to rent hair extensions, our Dream Hair Club is for you. So we have all the tips and tricks to make your wedding or special event perfect.
So thank you, Sam, for providing incredible services for brides and grooms everywhere. We absolutely adore you. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
What was the
immediately.
main frustration? Hold on. I actually, here,
Okay.
this is
Your
me.
clipboard.
This is me.
Get your clipboard.
I am prepared all the time.
I know, I love it.
I try so hard not to be. Okay. So I did have a couple questions on here.
Let's go.
But what was the biggest surprise from a vendor standpoint, right? Because we get there and we see all of it put together, going through. What was the biggest surprise, whether it was vendors responding, maybe websites caught? I mean, there's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, how about this? When you were going and looking for people, was there frustration in that?
Yes.
And where?
Yes.
Where was that frustration?
The frustration was, one, people not having any information on their website about like actually what, like, okay, I'm going to just use an example. A caterer. I do catering. I do wedding catering. There's so many different types of wedding catering. And also not just that, but like, do you have a preset menu? Are you flexible? Do you want to, like, are you able to work with me on if we want to have like a breakfast situation or walking tacos, whatever? There's not a lot of description on like what services are actually offered.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like
is it rigid or is it flexible?
Very, very rigid. Like, or just nondescript. Like there's just nothing about it. Like, we do wedding catering.
What does that mean?
Okay. Like, that's great. I do need one, but like, can we get a little bit more?
Okay.
And then you reach out and then you don't hear anything.
So that's probably the second
That's
frustration.
the second frustration. So it's like, I don't even have information to go off of to eliminate you or decide if I want to pursue you more. There's no information on your website. So then I inquire with you to get more information and then I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, you lost my business, like immediately. Like,
well, yeah, you're going to move on
I'm going to move on.
Somebody else.
Because I'm like, well, that sucks. You were really highly recommended, but I can't get a hold of you.
Right.
So like, that scares me also from a bride standpoint of like, what if you go AWOL a month before my wedding or 2 months before? I'm like, immediately when you're inquiring and the communication, I'm thinking, is this the way that you're going to be the whole time?
That's true.
Like, immediately sets the standard for me.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So then so frustration in not enough information on the website, frustration in no response back.
Yeah.
Was there a frustration or surprise in what things cost?
Yes.
You're like,
Sorry.
Immediately.
Yes.
That was too fast.
Immediately, yes. Holy crap.
In that, of course, it's more expensive.
Yes. Okay. So
Or things were.
Can we get into like, okay,
Yeah.
I've been married before. So I got married in 2013, got divorced, and so the 12-year difference of cost was alarming. Like, I went dress shopping and I'm probably going to get laughed at. My dress was a splurge and it was $700 in 2013. Like, a splurge.
I was like, dang, for now?
Yeah.
$700?
No,
Okay.
No. So I went and I was like, prices have gone up a little bit. I'm thinking like
Double. Okay, say double.
Nope. Nope. Triple at least. And I'm like, oh, and then there's alterations and a veil and accessories and scarves. And I'm like, so like just the difference in 12 years is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Dress. I really think I've just been surprised at all of it. Like, truly, how expensive it is. And I know that it is expensive. I know deep down, and like, we are charging also, like, we're a part of it. We know that it's necessary costs, and I know that those costs are necessary.
Like, from your own perspective, you've raised your prices over the years, and you've become more experienced in all the marketing and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But it's still, once you got up to the top, you're like, oh dang.
Yeah, and just not knowing the range of things. Like, I know what a good wedding photographer costs in this area. Like, I can approximate that. I don't know what a good DJ costs. I don't know what a good caterer costs. I don't know the range of like getting a quote being like, ooh, that feels a little fishy versus that's way overpriced. I don't know that range at all. So that's a part of the shock too, is like, I don't even know what I'm looking for.
Well, and I think hopefully as our episodes go on, and we're going to start deep diving into, like, when you said DJ, all we see as photographers as a wedding is like a setup and there's cords and this sort of stuff, and you got ceremony, and you got lights, and like, where does that all, what's the triangle on that? Like, what's the base versus like a top tier sort of production or whatever?
And what are you wanting to look for an experienced DJ to have? Like, if I'm getting quotes back, I'm like, okay, obviously I have the privilege of knowing people in our industry. So that's helpful when I'm inquiring with people. I'm like, I've worked 200 weddings with you. I know you.
Right.
Some people, but like other people, other industries that it's like we may pass, or like we're not really interacting with caterers. We're not really interacting with.
Well, we are when we're like, can you please give us a plate of food? Please, and don't kill me for asking right before you serve 200 guests, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But like, you know, there's a lot of crossover. So we can hang out and talk with the planners and have relationships with the DJs and whatever, because we're in that same zone with them. So hopefully this is really helpful for people planning weddings.
Yeah.
Because I would have loved to have this at the beginning of my planning process, to like talk through each vendor and how you pick them and why you pick them and why you pick one person over the other. Besides personality and like vibing and price, but like actually what is it that's different between different types of vendors?
That's true.
You know, even within the same realm.
So once you made it through there, and like you start the vendor part's done, just as like a regular bride, did you have trouble nailing down guest lists? Did you have trouble nailing down? I wrote a couple things down. Like,
I'm just gonna nod.
Yeah.
For every.
You're like, did you have troubles?
Yes.
Yes. Did you have trouble? But I
Did
was
you
like,
want to elope instead of a wedding? Yes.
oh, everybody, absolutely. I remember leaving back in 2010. No, I got married in 2010. 2008, leaving one of those big like bridal shows and be like, I'll see you in Dominican Republic. Like, I'm
done.
Out of here.
Bye.
So what was on the traditional thing, non-vendor related stuff, did you find the hardest thing? Because you haven't sent out invitations yet, right? So are you still working on that guest list? Are you still working on like favors? Are you still working on like maybe the guest experience of a wedding? Is there pressure for that? What's the pressure?
The pressure is figuring out how to cut people off of our guest list. I have really been struggling with that. And like a lot of it is I'm so emotionally connected to so many people that I really want everyone that I have a relationship with to be at my wedding, and I can't. Our venue holds at max like 115.
Okay.
Our trimmed down guest list was like 185. And so we're like, oh, well, that's a lot more than 115. So we have gone through probably 6 rounds of like slowly chopping. And every time it's so painful, because it's like, I want you to be there. Like, it's not that I don't want people to be there. I think it's so hard. So we're now down to like 137, still would like a little bit less than that. But it's now like the onion layer of people that you're like, I see you regularly. And like, I like you and I want to hang out with you and I want you at my wedding, but like, it's you or my aunt or cousin. Like, you know what I mean? It's like those layers are so hard. And I think I've been hurt. I've thought too, like there have been times that I've not been invited to a wedding that I'm like, man, like I kind of thought we were closer. Like that's a bummer. And I've thought so much about that during this process where I'm like, oh my gosh, actually, if I would have gotten out of that mindset and not thought about me in that moment and thought about actually like how much goes into like trying to meticulously cut and not hurt people's feelings. Like no one has ill intention. Like no one's trying to purposefully leave me out of a wedding guest list. Like it probably was a game time decision of.
And you said it's like based on the venue that you picked and that sort of stuff.
I mean, ideally, like I wish we could have 25 people and just like have a very small thing. That's not actually going to be the case because there's like, that's just our family alone. Yeah. It's like 25 people. So
do you feel the pressure? Because I remember when I got married, I felt the pressure of making sure everybody was taken care of that was also being invited. And I remember freaking out a lot about like transportation because I got married in Nashville. I'm like, how are they going to get it from the hotel to here to here? And one of my friends was like, Erin, we're adults.
Yeah.
We drive.
Right.
We will figure it out. Like you have got to chill out.
I know.
Do you feel that pressure of are things good enough? Are they going to enjoy their time?
Yeah. Partially because like we're going to be in a field. Like we have a field with a pavilion thing, but it's all open to the elements. Like that's what we want. But on the same time, I'm like, what if someone comes and they're like, so what do I do now? Like, I get there and then what? And I'm like, it's going to be so much fun. But that's my fear, is that people are going to get there and it's, you've been to, I mean, I feel like everyone's been to a wedding where you're just like waiting for the couple to finish their photos for like 2 hours, or you're like waiting for dinner and you're just like sitting there and you're like, I actually don't want to be here. Like, not really. Like, I'm hungry and the music's not that great and like everyone's awkward. Very rarely have I been to these, but like it does happen. And that is my worst fear, is like having a wedding that everyone's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, why'd she do that?
Like, the food
What's going
sucks
on?
and there's no music and it's just silent and crickets and like everyone's just side-eyeing each other. Like, that's in my brain my worst fear. I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
but that's
I
my
don't
worst
know.
fear.
You and Q are not going to, no. I don't see that the vibe. I don't think you've picked a place that, and again, maybe you're the whole thing with my friend, like, we're adults, we'll figure it out.
Right.
Like, they're adults.
Right.
So they'll figure it out.
People will actually probably really like it. Like, it's going to be a vacation for people to come and camp and hang out, and it will be really, really fun. And we're going to have fun food and s'mores. Like, everyone loves that stuff. But I'm like,
who doesn't like a good s'more?
Yeah.
So was there anything though, when you were planning it, or even being a vendor and seeing other people's weddings, one thing that you're like, I am absolutely not going to do this? What was it?
We're not doing a garter toss or a bouquet toss.
That has gone out the window, I feel like.
The suggestion was a t-shirt gun. And we have our camp t-shirts on, just like rocket launch, like a t-shirt gun.
I'm going to mark that down and make sure for people
How fun would that be? So I'm like, some alternative things to things that we really don't love. We're going to cut the cake, but we're doing it like private, like just in the corner.
That's also another thing I feel like a lot of couples are doing too.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't really want it announced. We'll do a very short first dance. We'll do short parent dances. Like, it's going to be really chill. I'm trying to think of anything else that we're like not doing. Here's a big thing. Like, our wedding party is not standing up with us at the ceremony and not going down the aisle. Like, I'm just walking down the aisle and Q's walking down the aisle and that's it. So it's like, we're having a wedding party, but really we're not.
But they're
just hanging out. There are honorary people that I've like, here's a palette of texture and color, pick a dress, great.
Yes.
Show up, great. You'll be in a couple photos. That's really it. I don't want to do like a ton of bridal party post photos. Like, I really want just like relaxed, chill. Yeah.
So now that you've made it through part of this wedding planning, and it's about to gear up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We are in the less than 6 months mark.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's changed you as a vendor?
Yes.
How?
Big time. I wasn't expecting that portion to happen though. I think like, because I'm like, I just see weddings all the time. Now, someone really hit the nail on the head. They were talking about like, weddings are special, but you don't understand how personal a wedding is to the person that it's their wedding. Like, you go to a wedding and even if you really love the person, it's beautiful and you may cry and whatever, but it's never going to feel like what the bride feels or the groom feels. Like, that is their wedding. And like, oh, sure, duh. But I now have this different appreciation for the people that have planned the wedding, that I'm like, oh, yes, these are all really pretty details, but you have been thinking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, this is your day playing out. This isn't just a job that I'm showing up to, that I'm trying to serve my couple. Like, I'm now seeing their perspective a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the parents a little bit more, the siblings a little bit more, like
The guest list.
I'm seeing all of it. I'm seeing that back end side instead of like the vendor to the couple side. I'm seeing the couple to the wedding approach side.
So what would you say if you had to give one piece of advice to old Brittany?
Brittany who just got engaged?
Brittany who just got engaged, walking out of that venue with the ring on their finger, to now Brittany.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would tell her maybe she needed to know then? Like, hey, by the way, before you get started, don't do this or do this.
I would have told Brittany because I hired a planner, to rely on my planner more.
Okay.
I thought I was going to have to do way more on my own than my planner was like, hey girl, remember that one time you hired me? And I was like, oh, that's right. It's so interesting. Yeah, that's right. I did pay you money to help me. So
Like
not
did that,
to do it all
like
on
with
your
catering.
own. Yeah.
Right, with a catering issue.
She was like, I'll message them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like the stress of like trying to be on every single detail. One, if you have not hired a planner, hire a planner, hire a planner, hire a planner.
Planner in the actual, because
Not just a day up planner.
I was like, we need to get into that in another
that's a whole other episode.
episode.
Not just a day up planner, but like a full process planner.
Yeah.
Someone that will help you create, like the help that my planner, there's like a fly flying. She has helped me with the aesthetics, with my tables, with thinking about how it's all going to work together, thinking about the visual, like kind of from start to finish, how I want it to look. I mean, she has really just like honed in what I need. The hire a planner.
Did you have a lot?
Yes.
Were you trying to do all the things?
Yes. I'm like, we need 6,000 yard games and we need corn dogs and also we need 6 different fair foods. And I'm like, what? No, we don't. I'm like, I mean, I think this is what I will say. The decision paralysis is so real because I think that I am almost desensitized to how pretty weddings are and all of the things and all of the options that it's like, I now am in that place of planning and all I can think about are the 300 weddings I've photographed and all the things I did or did not like. And it's like, well, I don't even know where to start because there's so many options and there's so many choices and so many things I could do.
I mean, my goodness, look at Pinterest and social media and TikToks and did you get on that sort of stuff or did you really try and stay away?
No, I did.
You did get on?
I did get on them. I have a Pinterest board, but I think I really prepared myself with expectation. Like, this is inspiration. I'm not going to.
Was there like a mantra every time you logged in?
Yes.
This is inspiration.
Because there's some really cool camp weddings like that, like go balls to the wall. And I'm like, oh, this is so great. That's probably a $60,000 wedding. I'm not really like
to make it look like it's effortless.
Correct. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's not. It's like doing a full face of makeup to make it look like a natural makeup look.
Yes.
But they have spent so much money to make it look like a chill backyard barbecue. And I'm like, every sign is calligraphy and like, no.
And there's lights everywhere.
Yeah. I'm like, and florals everywhere. And I'm like, I know how much that stuff actually costs. So coming from like this is inspiration. Like, how can I hold drinks? How can I serve food? Like, I'm trying to like think about how people have done it in the past so that I can be inspired to do
like a
myself.
logistical thing versus just an aesthetic thing.
Yes.
Or both.
I think both. But like, again, not like we're going to have really colorful invitations. That was a Pinterest inspiration thing. I'm not going to order the exact invitations that they did because it was like a really fancy invitation set, and that's not our vibe. So I'm like, but I liked the fact that they were all different colors and like, okay, I can figure that out myself and find
immediately in my head, I'm like, oh, I gotta photograph that.
Right. You're welcome.
I don't think I've actually seen one that. Yeah. I mean, I've seen colorful ones, so maybe not different colors.
Yeah, different colors, and it's like all on my color palette, but like they're different shapes and like fun, funky.
But you pulled that from Pinterest, but you weren't recreating their exact same thing.
No. Did you? Because genuinely, I'm like, oh, that quality of paper, I don't even know what it's called, like the indentation, kind of 3D, gold foiling, all this stuff. I'm like, that is gorgeous. That's not our vibe, but we don't need to have that for the aesthetic of it.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Will you carry that? Will that be part of like this is totally just a personal question.
Let's go.
Well, that theme, I mean, obviously you got color. You're out in the woods. Will that color, like through your bridesmaids' dresses, like here's the color palette, basically. It's our invitations.
No, literally.
Go for it.
I have like an 8. I made like a little guide and also it's going to be on our website. That's like an 8 color palette.
Oh, for a guest to dress up
guests to dress up. Everyone.
I can't wear my black, can I?
No. Just don't wear black. I have to like get you out of the like vendor. You're not a vendor at our wedding. You're
Oh, okay. All right, I'll wear something colorful.
Like I'm absolutely going to do a colorful element in my own thing. Like I'll have a white dress, but there will be a very colorful accessory.
I like that. Oh, I like that.
I kind of want like an orange veil. Like I want like a colorful veil.
You know, I was watching this TikTok and they had like these like cherry like earrings.
Yeah.
That were like deep red.
Yeah. I did buy my earrings. I have my earring. I'm like trying to like, I'm slowly getting things. It's slowly feeling like it's coming together.
That's the exciting thing.
You know?
That's
like,
the exciting thing.
I can see it now coming together. But yeah, it's going to be really colorful. The whole tablescape's going to be colorful. Everything's going to be colorful.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that like.
You're welcome.
I am excited. I have, you know, what's funny, I can see it in my brain too, and I've never been there, and I've looked at your website maybe like 2 times for the venue. Yeah. I'm like, this is what it's going to look like. Yeah. And then you show up, even like people tell you color stuff, and you show up and you're like, oh damn, this is not, it's really fucking cool.
Like what you're doing. That wedding that we shot, that like, it was literally like a rainbow of color. Like all the tablescapes were different. They had like pillar candles that were colorful. Yes. I feel like it was in the spring.
It was.
Kind of similar to that, but like fallish, jewelry colors.
Because it's fall. Well, it's fall-ish. And the summer, fall-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, who knows? I don't know. I kind of also, this is the sweet spot of I'm really, really excited. I also don't care about the little things at all anymore. I'm like, it'll work out. And I have a planner. That's
right. I feel like since the last time we talked,
oh my gosh,
since you had a planner and she's like, give me, please give me the weight.
Begging me. She's like, please,
I feel like
please,
you're
please.
lighter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was like wanting to cancel the whole thing. Not because I didn't want to get married, but I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. This is so much. And I literally texted Sarah, our planner, and I was like, I think that we're just going to like, we have 2 weeks before we can like pull and like still get our deposit back for the venue. I mean, like I was like in that zone. Oh, I was like, we have time. Like we have until the 31st.
Did she immediately call you?
Let's go ahead and wait until we have our meeting, and then you guys can make a decision. But I really think that actually the majority of the stress that you're feeling, I am wanting to take on for you.
That's delightful.
Like, oh, okay. And after that meeting, actually, I was very excited, and we picked out things. And I was like, oh, I can see it now, and it feels great. And
well, I think maybe as we move through episodes, we should do updates.
I think we should
on how you're feeling too, like through the process. So right now we are about 6 months out.
Yeah.
So it's coming up.
And when we release these, we'll literally, we'll obviously still be in the planning process.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good idea.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I think the 6 month, and I've talked to some friends who are. One friend that just got married and another friend that's also engaged. And there's something about that 6 month mark that it's like, we're close to time. You're getting, payments are due, starting to be due. But yet it's not like, oh, it's next month. Like I'm like scrambling. I feel like I have time, but also it's kind of like a, hey girl, it's coming around the corner. Like, let's get some stuff done.
Big things are done. It's sort of like, the little that are fun to do, like getting your earrings and, talking to your friends and getting your invitation sent out and that sort of stuff. That's sort of like a sweet spot of life.
I'm very excited. Well, okay. Think of any other advice I'd give someone or myself.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. As cliche as it sounds, like I really have enjoyed it.
It goes so fast.
It goes so fast.
Your engagement season in your life is a blip.
Yeah.
On a radar. Like you're going to be engaged for like 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. And I really love, there have been times where I'm like, man, like we really need a plan, but genuinely we've just taken the majority of this year and just been engaged and like enjoy being together. Like we moved in together. That was a big adjustment. We got engaged. That was a big adjustment. Like, so just like enjoying those life phases of change instead of immediately feeling like, oh, I'm engaged. Got a plan. Hurry. Like, book what you got to book. Whatever you're stressed about not securing, book it. But then just like take a breather and be engaged.
Yeah.
Like enjoy being engaged.
And if you don't enjoy being engaged, hire a planner.
Hire a planner.
Hire
a planner.
Okay. So that's so I would say after listening to you, old Brittany would tell the Brittany today, hang on Sarah.
Yeah.
Like rely on her a lot more.
Call Sarah, cry to Sarah. Sarah will fix your problem.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Shout out to Sarah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
good. Yeah. Okay, that was that. So my clipboard is good. It is. I think the last thing is, one of the things we didn't introduce ourselves, but we also didn't tell people where they can find us.
Oh yeah, you may want to know that. We're called I'll Be Honest Podcast.
Yes.
You can find us on Instagram at I'll Be Honest Pod or on our website, I'll Be Honest pod.com.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll have everything linked.
Fabulous.
In here. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you again next episode.
Cheers.